stir on the outsides, right, in circles. And then I can do my inside as well. So I'm also making sure that anything that settles to the bottom of flattening agents and such is all thoroughly mixed in. You definitely want to make sure that everything is done the same when you have a large volume of a project. And if I'm say doing this and then I cut into a new can, and I'm on a large project, that batch might get this and the other batch might get the new one. And when I put them next to each other, it has to be the same. So it's crucial that you always stir thoroughly and you always follow and you don't deviate of consistency. You always do things the same. Okay, so I'll put it like this so I can show you. So there's my 1250 line right here. Okay, so that's what I'm probably aiming for. I just see a little bit of debris in there. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to pour. Okay. This might be a hair too much. Okay. So I'll let you see from there. Just a hair too much, which is okay. You can always pour some out. Okay. Let's see where that is now. Okay. I always go for the bottom of the meniscus. Okay. So there's that area there at the very top, but then you see the white band, and at the bottom of the white band is the bottom of the meniscus. And that's exactly where we're at. So on a liquid pour, that's exactly what it is supposed to be. So this is what I use, Ceralac. This is like top of the line polyurethane, TZ70, and it's a 25-degree sheen. And yeah, this takes 10% of catalyst, of hardener, and then I usually go to the viscosity of which is averagely around, especially on top coats. I don't want too much of a build because I want to keep things relatively originally as possible. So I will kind of thin it out probably to about 30-35% in my thinners. So I'm just going to grab my different products here. And I got, now, there are different applications. Here, this is a 89 thinners. This is my fast thinner. This evaporates quite quickly, so my polyurethane skins over quicker, and it also dries a little bit faster, just a little bit. And then you can get other ones that are slow thinners. That if you need something to be wet for a little bit longer, use a slow thinner, and that will give you more time. It also is more receptible, more sags and runs and type of thing, right? So anyways, here's a catalyst. Okay, so I'm just gonna open this up. This is the catalyst. So if I have 1250, I need 125. So we're just gonna measure off 125 mil. This right here. All right, so we're just using this. Now you want it flat so it's accurate. Okay, so again, you go to the bottom meniscus. With any catalyst, any hardener, do not deviate the percentage. It is very crucial that you want to be within manufacturer's guarantees in the sense of, don't manipulate it in that way in the sense of catalyst. Thinners, you can manipulate. Catalyst, do not. Okay, so you pour all of it in. Okay, so now I'm going to go for my thinners. Okay. Now, 125. Okay, times 3, it's 375. That's 30%. Okay, so I'll go to 200. Okay, and then 175. Okay, so I know that's 30%. So I go through. All right, yeah, there. Okay. All right, so we got the catalyst, we got the thinners, and now I'm just going to stir it until it's very thoroughly mixed. And as for viscosity, if you're inexperienced and you want to take exact measurements, and even when I want to input into a formula book, I will always, like, I already know that I put 375 mils of thinner, right? So that to me is part of a natural formula to me, right? That's 30%. If you're going to go accurate to every step and be very accurate in writing it down into your formula book, I would definitely, any adjustments after this, take note and take them very accurately. And so you have an exact procedure for that project in later time. That's what a formula book is designed for. So just in case you have other projects coming up that are going to be exactly the same, then you can just refer to your formula book and it will tell you everything that you need to know. So, but when it comes to something like this, I do this multiple times, all the time, in the sense is that I will do things systematically the same, but if there's any other deviation I got to make outside of it, it's just usually a tweak. Like for something, for adding thinners for a certain viscosity, that's a personal thing. That's how it comes out of your gun, how you want it, your poly or conversion varnish or lacquer to flow, you know, and how flat you kind of want the thin membrane of liquid. You know, a lot of different factors are involved. So now, since it's all thoroughly mixed, this is what I do. Full spin, full stir, and left. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5, 1,000, 6, 1,000, 7, 1,000, 8, 1,000, 9, 1,000, 10. We're just at the 10-second mark. And that to me is a little bit it's on the good spray side, and it will build. It'll have some build properties in it still. The flow out, after I spray it, this would be okay if I wanted to create, if there was my sealer coats, right? 30 would be good, a great viscosity, in the sense of 30%. And for what I'm doing, I find that a little bit too thick. So I'm actually going to add a little bit more thinners, which, and let's just see. I will pour another 150. Okay, so being that was at 10 seconds, if I add 150, that should be around 9, 8 seconds. Okay, so it's going to flow out. It's going to be a little bit thinner. It's still doing its job, but it's going to flow out into a thinner membrane of liquid. And that's kind of what I want. And I also want it nice and smooth. So I can also use it as a top coat. It's going to be thin enough. So we'll see how it feels like on the spin here. I'm going to stir. And let's see what it does. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5, 1,000, 6, 1,000, 7, 1,000, 9, 1,000. Yeah, so it's looking really good in the sense of see, that to me is the feel of my product. In the sense of measurements, yeah. So I just add an extra 150 to that 375. Okay, so if you want to create formula book, that's what you write down. And this will be a good viscosity for what we're doing. So stay tuned.